Hey, this is Jeff Wick, editor of the Fayette County Record, joined, as always, by Andy Balin. And we are here at NBT in scenic downtown LaGrange, and we're about to make a very important withdrawal from the under construction new teller pods here at NBT, joined by Tracy Harris,
Hi.
President and CEO of NBT, Brian Minsenmeyer, Business Development Director at NBT. So yeah, I think we filled out all the paperwork and ready to make that big withdrawal.
First withdrawal right here from this first teller pod.
Look at that. That is a valuable withdrawal right there. Hot off the press is the first copy of the new edition of the Fayette County Record. Tracy and Brian, would y'all like to hear about some of the headlines in the new edition of the paper? And then we'll chat a little bit about some of the exciting things that are progressing over here at NBT.
You bet. Tell us what's going on in the community.
Sure thing. Well, Poncho, who I think is just walking through the door right now, said that he's got a story about this young fella from the Mason area who's paddling 500 and something miles all the way down the Colorado River to Matagorda Bay. Well, here he is.
Oh,
now.
I'm sorry. This is a hard hat area only.
Well, my head is hard enough.
Tell us about that young fella.
This guy, he's a young 22-year-old fella. He's got a barber shop in Mason. His brother and father have barbershops or a barbershop in Fredericksburg. This guy is a young adventurer. He's already done the Appalachian Trail all the way through. That's huge. Now he's doing this 500-mile paddle. And, of course, he's chronicling it on Facebook, which means that everywhere he goes, people already know he's coming. And people roll out the red carpet like some local folks did for him when he came through here Sunday.
Yeah, he spent Easter Sunday here in LaGrange in
That's
the midst
right.
of that journey he's doing on the river.
So he says he'll be at Matagorda, the mouth of the river, first of the month.
That's the good river news, and also on the front page there's some tragic river news.
Yeah, there's tragically yesterday there was a driver of a big rig died in an accident when his truck went off the bank of the Navidad River Bridge west of Schulenburg. He blocked traffic on I-10 for a couple hours while first responders were clearing up that wreckage, but unfortunately the driver didn't make it.
Is that the place we launched one time?
No, we were on the East Navidad River that time.
Okay.
Yeah. No, we were on the West Navidad, but further downstream from there. Yeah.
Why don't we spread out the paper on
Sure,
this beautiful
yeah.
teller pod right here, which is perfect for displaying the news.
Elaine Thomas has one of her great stories in today's paper about the late Frankie Joe Chernishek, longtime resident of Holman, and lots of folks in Schulenburg knew him. Big baseball guy, was a teacher at Bishop Forest, and it's a nice reminiscence about Frankie Joe, who just recently passed away. Then our librarian here in town, Allison Shimmick, was named the Texas Small Community Librarian of the Year. It's great news for our library. She's doing great work over there at our local library. This weekend, 10,000 cyclists are going to be coming into town with the BP MS 150. We always enjoy having them around town every year, but folks should be aware that there's going to be lots of bicycles out there, so maybe be careful when you're driving. We also found out that Flatonia Police Chief Perry Crom was fired on Tuesday in a special city council meeting. You can read about that. And there was that episode over on Slow John Road in Flatonia on Monday where there was a man fired a gun during an argument with his wife and went into the woods for about an hour and a half, and officers finally found him. Fortunately, nobody got hurt from gunfire. That man's in the hospital for some unrelated medical issues. But
What's
he's
the
facing
sports
charges.
news, Jeff?
Sports news, baseball and softball is big right now. Softball playoffs begin this week. LaGrange, good luck to the LaGrange Lady Leps. They're actually open the playoffs here at home tonight, 6 p.m. against Sealy. Baseball teams are playing their regular season finales Monday and Tuesday, and they're going to be heading to the playoffs next week. So lots of exciting sports stuff going on. Also in Friday's paper, some previews of some artistic events coming up. Art Walk, Fayetteville Chamber Music Festival, the ever interesting opinion section is in Friday's paper as well. Lots of letters to the editor.
Another great story in from Florian Kanye
Florian
about how he got
Kanye.
left at church one Sunday when he was a little kid.
I asked,
He probably could use some church, use a little
Yeah,
extra church. time,
maybe his
so.
parents intentionally left him there to get a
I was
little
talking
extra.
to a lady the other day, and she said, "I just love that Florian Kanye. That's my favorite part."
Well, you know,
of the
he's
paper."
a reigning champion in the humorous column writing from the South Texas
Yeah,
Press.
we're lucky to have
Yeah,
him.
yeah, he's a great writer. But let's turn our attention from the news in the newspaper to the news going on at NBT, Tracy. This is just really exciting what's going on here. At the bank, a massive renovation of this building, and kind of just talk about, you know, some of the challenges of renovating, you know, a building like this, and a historic building, right, or no?
So that was one of the tests that we had to go through when we were trying to determine what type of renovation we were going to have. And what we did is we got with the Texas Historical Commission, and they were to determine whether or not we were a historic building or if we were new construction. And they came back and said we were new construction. So when we started making the changes, we were able to go down a more modern path versus staying with the residential or the historic had we needed to do that.
Right, yeah, because downtown there's definitely some very specific things you have to do with those centuries-old building, but MBT here on the corner, much more modern building than,
Yes.
than some of the other places around it. And just kind of walk us through what we can see right here, the progress of what's going on. We started, of course, at these teller pods, and this is a really interesting concept for kind of where banking is going, right?
It is. We're going to be first to market here in LaGrange with this type of concept, and we're very excited about it. This is going to provide for a much more interactive process between the personal bankers and the customers. And so we're excited that we have this opportunity. We have 2 teller pods. They also call them dialogue pods.
Dialogue pods.
So customers will be able to come up and do their transactions right here. Our personal bankers are going through some really extensive training right now, developing processes and procedures that will help customers from the start to the finish of any transaction that they have. So we're super excited about that opportunity. We also are looking at the conference room. We have just a small conference room over to our right-hand side, which will be great for posting our holiday decorations when Main Street
of
has all of
course,
the,
yeah.
the holiday parties that we do. New entrance, a little less confusing when you walk into National Bank and Trust. It was a little bit more challenging when we walked in previously. And one of the really exciting things that we're going to have is we're going to have an ATM facing the square. So at the old entrance where you used to come into the bank, now there will be an ATM right there facing outside. So
nice. That's
we'll have that available for our customers.
You know, back in the older days of banking, you know, there was such a separation between customers and tellers, I guess because of security concerns, you know, theft and robbery and things like that. So obviously this is so open. No worries of robberies anymore.
Guys like Poncho coming in here.
I know. I mean, do you really want this guy being able to get around the counter?
That's just what I was thinking. And you shouldn't ever say robbery in a bank. You know? That's not where you want to go.
There are worse things to say, so yeah. Well, the concept is that the drawer's still locked. You know, everything is still very secure. But to have the customers come in, they're going to be greeted by our greeter. They're going to be taken care of. One of the milling personal bankers will be able to go ahead and grab them and take them over to the location that they need to be at to take care of whatever banking transactions they have.
That's awesome.
So.
And yeah, just so many more windows. This great stonework behind us.
It looks great. I'm really excited about what y'all are doing here. We were walking around the square getting a donut the other day, and stopped in while some of the workers are here laying some tile, and really impressed with this tile work. And
Right. All the flooring has been local. Linky Flooring has been helpful for us in the ordering as well as the installation. So we're happy about the carpet. We're happy about the tile that we received. So they're just a great group too.
Yeah, you mentioned local businesses. MBT is such a great friend of local businesses here in LaGrange, and y'all have done such a great job of helping you know, us as at the record spotlight a lot of those local businesses over the past year.
True.
Yeah, we love the community. LaGrange is where we are. You know, we'll always have our foundation and roots here since 1888. That's when we began. So that's never going to change.
One of the oldest federally chartered banks in Texas, right?
That's right.
And now, is it possible to walk through some of the rest of the bank? And
If you'd like, sure.
well, turn the camera on some of the tellers and some of the things, because the construction is not just limited to this area. Eventually, it's going to proceed in here, right?
Yes, this is phase 3. We're just about finished with phase 2.
So, okay, phase 3 will include this area.
Yes.
And what's going to happen in here?
There will be a bank of offices down this side, and then right where we've got the picture, that will be a nice fireplace with a sitting area. Yeah, so folks can come in, and after they've transacted their business, they can come have a cup of coffee and sit down and just hang out for a while.
Now, I think we may have to make that a regular part of our walk around the square. For people that don't know, Pancho Indy and I frequent Lucas Bakery, and MBT would be the perfect stop after a pig in the blanket to grab some coffee and do some banking.
And
Just bring some to share.
we are connoisseurs of free coffee also.
So
It's basically an editorial meeting on the move, right? I
Something
mean,
like
we're
that.
basically working.
Basically working. Basically.
yeah, we'll let Regina know that. She's watching.
So what's the time frame on the completion of these different phases?
We will be finished by summer
Wow. With everything.
with everything.
Oh my
Everything
gosh.
will be finished, inside, outside.
So you're going to 2 tellers out there.
4.
4.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep, and we're transitioning from tellers and new account people to personal banking. So it will all be incorporated.
It's personal banking. They're not going to tell you anything anymore.
That's true. That's
If
true.
you walk into ready to open a new account, you just go see a teller and they'll
Not a
handle-
teller.
Yeah,
Not a
personal
teller.
banker.
I'm sorry,
Personal
personal banker.
banker.
Personal
But
banker.
they'll handle all that for you. It's not like you have to wait around for somebody to.
That's right. That's right. And the exciting thing about being able to transition into the personal banking form is that we're not going to do customer service at NBT anymore. So don't expect customer service.
What?
You can expect customized service.
Customized service.
Yes.
Nice.
So we will have customized service for each and every one of our customers and or clients.
Very
yeah,
good.
a very exciting time here at MBT. Historic roots, ultra historic roots,
Yes.
but on the very forefront of new modern banking technology. So that's very exciting.
Yeah, we're excited about it. So we thank you guys for coming.
Yeah, thank you all so much. And Andy, you want to take us out?
Sure thing. Well, we're linking to National Bank and Trust Facebook page, so click on that link to find out more about the bank. And you can also find us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. All these videos go to YouTube as well. Thanks so much for watching, and thanks for reading the paper.